Greetings, my name is Sister Fran Donnelly, and we're here to congratulate you all on your 50th high school reunion and your very special year of 73 to 74. I taught at Our Lady of Peace from 1971 to 73, and I taught religion.
And I'm Kathleen Conway, Sister Kathleen Conway, BVM, and I taught at Our Lady of Peace from 1969 to 1973, and I taught English.
And I'm Sister Lois Dolphin, and I taught at Our Lady of Peace High School from 1966 to 1973, and I taught chemistry and physics and a freshman course in science called Introductory Physical Science.
My name is Sister Barbara Brooks, and I taught at Our Lady of Peace from 1969 to 1973, and I taught English.
After Our Lady of Peace, I moved on to other ministries in parishes and archdiocesan administration, and also I worked for the Catholic cemeteries.
After OLP closed, I worked in 3 different high schools, each one representing where I was in getting 2 master's degrees in information media and then in library science.
And after OLP closed, I went on to Regina High School because I was very strongly motivated by close to 100 people, I think 100 of our students
90 to 100, I think.
went to Regina, and I felt a desire to accompany that final class to Regina and just to walk with them during that very difficult year, very difficult transitional year. I do have one memory of Regina that I just want to include here. Regina was extremely welcoming for us, to the point where the student council, they had a student council at Regina, and the student council president there was a student council president from Our Lady of Peace and a student council president from Regina. So the two served as co-presidents of the student council. And if I remember correctly, our students wore their own uniforms.
Yes,
they were allowed to wear
They did.
the OLP uniform, not to have to buy a whole new Regina uniform just for that year. So that's just 2 examples of how very welcoming the students at Regina were for us. It was a remarkable transition.
I went to Regina too, and I stayed for 4 years. So I stayed until all the OLP students had graduated. And yes, it was a very similar experience. It was a girls' school, and while they had their own traditions, it was still a very welcoming and I think pleasant place. I remember asking one of the OLP students, "Well, how is it? You feel good here? Are you happy here?" And she said, "Well, yeah," she said, "but also you're here." So I think the fact that they went out of their way to find jobs for 4 of us and one of our lay teachers, Peg Glenn, and we all carpooled going over to Minneapolis. That was a big thing too for the students to go from St. Paul to Minneapolis.
They were worried they might have to change money when they crossed the river. It was unheard of in those days that these St. Paul girls would ever go to Minneapolis.
My dad used to say, "Pack a lunch, we're going to Minneapolis."
So it was quite significant. The Sisters of St. Joseph had an old academy. I think it started when the state started practically in 1856. And that school closed in 1971. Mm-hmm. So there were students, some are perhaps watching this video, who actually went to 3 high schools because then we closed and they moved on. But it was a unofficial collaborative effort. Mm-hmm. The other thing we felt strongly about communicating with you is the impact that the closing had on us as members of a religious community. It was a large community. There were probably 35, 40 of
At
us.
least, yeah.
But it meant not only did we need to go out and find a job, but our community was breaking up, and that was really, really challenging for us. So Lois has a story about graduation.
Yeah, a memory that I have, I was the person who said the names of the students at graduation. And so I'll never forget saying, the 21st and final graduating class of Our Lady of Peace High School. It broke my heart. I've never forgotten it.
Yeah. Well, I have some other memories of that. This whole thing has brought back a lot of memories for me from OLP days. And one of the strong memories I have is I taught my sister, Anne Conway, who graduated in 1973 with the final class. But I also had a cousin who also was in your class, in the class of 74. And her name, unfortunately, was Kathy Conway. And she was she was a very exuberant person. And frequently I'd be teaching my class and have everything under control. And over the loudspeaker would come, "Kathleen Conway, come to the office immediately." And everybody would look at me, and I'd put my head down and think, "Oh my God, what did she do now?" She went on to be a really wonderful person, but she was a handful when she was a junior in high school.
I had to meet with her parents a few times. She was my advisee, but it was an interesting relationship. One of the things I thought about when we were prepping for this and thinking about it is that, in a way, with hindsight, the closing of that school was a golden opportunity for me personally, and I believe that's probably true for us as well as for many of you, the alum, in that I moved on to so many things that I probably would never have had the courage or the gumption to try in my career. And I don't know if I would have done all that on my own if I hadn't been pushed out of the nest, so to speak, by the closing of the school. And having ministered in the St. Paul area for 50-some years, the legacy lives on. And that's due to you all, the students who still talk about it, still care about it. And even though it's ancient history, for many, it's still a significant story. And I'm thrilled you folks are telling it or making it known. So thank you for that. The other thing we want to do is invite you here. We all now live together again at Mount Carmel Bluffs here in Dubuque. And we're in an amazing place. We're currently right in our mother house, which is still in existence. Looks way different than it did 60 years ago when we entered. But it is now in partnership with Presbyterian Homes, neighbors to some of you out on Hamlin and Roseville. So we have independent living, we have assisted living, we have care facilities, we have memory unit, and lots of gorgeous space inside and outside. So if you ever make it down the river to Dubuque, don't hesitate to stop. We would love to see you, give you a tour. You can sign up for your, if you want to move here as you mature, that's fine too. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Nice being with you.
Yeah, have a great party.
Enjoy your
Yes, a
party.
really good party.
Bye.